welcome back to the K Life podcast. I'll be your host, Vedika Nikam. For today's podcast, we'll be discussing the effects of mental health that can have on one person. We have a very special guest with us today, Rachelle Kwong. She's here to tell us her story of how she started to figure skate and what happened to her and her career. Rachelle suffered from a serious injury that impacted her life in a tremendous way. She'll be discussing what the stages of her journey are to be back to becoming talented skater once again. Rachelle coped with many types of mental, physical, and emotional pain. This can help you guys learn how to cope with your stress, since we know everyone has a hard year this time in their lives, especially after COVID, especially after the year we had. So here comes Rachelle. Thank you for coming on our podcast. Would you like to share your story with us?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the K Life podcast. It's really exciting, actually. So I actually started skating when I was 5, and it only started as like a hobby. Like, it wasn't anything, like I never thought I was going to be a skating athlete. So it was just like something fun I did. And then afterwards, it was like when I was 12, 13 years old, I started training with one of the top coaches in Hong Kong, and she really like helped me improve so much. And then at 13, I joined the Hong Kong national team, and then she led me to winning national or Asian and international titles. And then just 3 years ago, I moved to Southern California for training with Rachelle Kwong, and he is a coach for several athletes, world athletes, and Olympic medalists. So it's exciting to be here.
That's very impressive, actually. That's absolutely incredible. Now I have some questions I'd like to ask you. So our first question, what are the mental health benefits or drawbacks you got from figure skating?
Well, yeah, I mean, as you know, for everything, there's like good side and bad sides.
Of
And
course.
for skating, it really changes. Oh, no, it doesn't change. It like trains your mind and your body at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So every day I'm trying to push myself, like mental wise and like physical wise. And with competitions, there's of course a lot of pressure,
Right.
and I learned how to like handle my nerves and be confident in front of the crowds, and just trying to perform my best. But like sometimes it doesn't work out as well as I thought it would, so then I actually have to learn how to still perform whenever things doesn't go exactly how I thought it would.
Right.
And also, figure skating is like a sport based on aesthetics, and it's
Mm-hmm.
always about being in your best shape. You have to eat healthy and try to be as thin as you can, because it actually helps with like your jumps as well, even though it's more on aesthetics. But a lot of athletes in figure skating suffer with like eating disorders, but it's just like due to the nature of the sport, and it's just something we have to learn to cope with throughout. Yeah.
That's incredible. So our second question, what are some things that fill up your mind from your day-to-day life, from skating and keeping up with everything?
Yeah. With skating, there's always a tight schedule, and every day we have like these sessions we have planned. And whenever I'm skating, I'm trying to maximize my day and try to um fill in everything I need according to
Right.
my season as well. And then when I'm away from skating, I try to like stay off about thinking anything related to skating. So then I get some time to actually relax and not
Yeah.
be constantly stressed about um, my upcoming competition or like anything
Mhm.
like that. So I really get a time to be away from all that and maybe hang
Right.
out with my friends and stuff like that.
Yeah. How many sessions do you have a day for like practices?
Yeah, usually I do 3 sessions. So
Uh-huh.
um it would be like from 9, and then it would be like a session at 11, and then a session at
Uh-huh.
like 1 to
Oh
2. So
wow.
then I get a break between every session. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That like definitely fills up your day.
Yeah.
Okay. Our third question, what are some hardships of coping with the injury you went through? Would you like to share that story with us?
Yeah, so injuries are more or less like inevitable in the sport industry, and
Right.
it's like one of the toughest things
I
because yeah, there's like it's either by accidents where it was just like you sprain your ankle or something like that, or
Mhm.
like it's from overtraining. Well, for
Right.
me, more or all of my injuries were from overtraining, and I
Right.
think I had one in my left ankle and one in my right
Mhm.
ankle and one in my right knee.
Oh
And
God.
yeah, and then yeah, they were all bone bruises. So bone
Uh-huh.
bruises usually take 6 weeks to recover. So I have to be off the ice for 6 weeks to let it actually heal.
Mm-hmm.
And even though like the time period for being off the ice is 6 weeks, it kind of takes like 1 to 2 weeks to like
Mm-hmm.
start getting myself used to being on the ice, and then take
Yeah.
some more time to even getting back to my condition from jumping and all of that.
Right.
So it sets me back a lot just from being in an injury.
No, yeah.
And yeah, I have to learn how to balance my work and my rest times, which I'm really bad at. So that's why I've been in injuries, because I just keep pushing myself a little bit too much
Yeah.
whenever
Which
I'm
is
in the
normal.
season. Yeah, so it's just some like hardships with being an athlete.
Yeah. No, yeah, I completely understand. And what was since you told me you had one in your left ankle and your right and your knee, what was your hardest one to get back from?
It was probably the knee, because the knee was
Yeah.
actually like recent, and I
Oh,
haven't really like uh coped with like knee injuries. So then it
uh,
was kind of unfamiliar to me. So
yeah.
then I wasn't sure about what steps I should take, and then it was taking longer than I thought it would. So like I was kind of like confused too. But then yeah, I'm good now, and like it's
Yeah.
fine.
That's good. But like you know how we see in movies how like they have to do like physical training and like their PT and stuff. Did you have to do any of that?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
done a lot of PT.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like I've done like chiroprac I've been with a chiropractor, and or like acupuncture, or like just like physical therapy, because it
Right.
helps strengthen your
Yeah.
your muscles, and that way it protects your bones. But
Yeah.
yeah, even because like with the diets and like being I guess like more thin with skating, it
Uh-huh.
actually it wear and tears your bones a bit easier, because
Yeah.
you're not getting as much nutrition
Hmm.
as normal people, because we
I
have
see.
to keep up with our diet. So that's
Yeah.
also some of the reasons with the injuries in skating.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, our fourth question. What are some training differences between the Hong Kong and US?
Yeah, so in Hong Kong, we don't have like full-size ice rinks. So then we actually skate in shopping malls. So then like people would be shopping while we're training.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so our skating rinks are actually way smaller than the
Uh-huh.
actual size, or like the standard size ones. So
Right.
whenever we went to competitions, we had to like get used to a larger ice
Crowd.
rink.
With like a lot of live crowds too, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
uh it's like it's hard to like get used to the different patterns in like a larger ice rink when we
Uh,
compete. And then we only get like 1 or 2 days to get used to it. So then that
oh,
was a
wow.
little bit hard when I was
Yeah.
training in Hong Kong. And
Hmm.
then so after I've been in the US, I had like really good conditions in
Hmm.
with the ice rinks and all that. So like yeah, it was really nice to be skating here. And then the training styles are also different, where
Yeah.
in Hong Kong, the coaches like to give you a strict agenda, and then you have to do everything perfectly every day,
Right.
until like you can only leave until like you've got it down. But
Oh,
then in the US, I've actually learned to be more independent with all my schedules, because
yeah.
then being in the US, it's more like on your own. You have to create
Hmm.
your own schedule, your own training agenda,
Hmm.
and then according to competitions, you have to like do your program, which is like we compete with programs where there's a short program
Right.
and a long program. So
Uh-huh.
um yeah, we have to like being here, I've learned how to be more independent and like making sure I
Yeah.
get all of my things done.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you have a preference whether you like training in the Hong Kong or the US?
For training, I definitely like it in the US just
Right.
because the resources and everything is very, very good. But
Yeah.
obviously, my friends and a lot of people are in Hong Kong, so I do love
Yeah.
skating in Hong Kong as well.
Did you have any friends that you skated with, or was it just you?
Yeah, I had a few people skating in
Oh, that's cool.
with when I was in Hong Kong, but then in the US, it was also nice because I got to skate with a lot of world competitors, and it was being on the same ice with them
Uh-huh.
allowed me to learn a lot more from them as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really incredible, impressive. Okay, our final question: how did you maintain good mental health and while balancing skating, your school, your normal life?
Yeah, so it definitely was not easy.
I can see
Because
that.
school, yeah, school in Hong Kong is very rigorous,
Uh,
and they're not very big on the sports side. So
right.
uh, it was hard for some of the teachers and even my classmates to understand what I was doing at the time.
No, yeah, completely.
Yeah, so then so whenever I missed school, and it would be like a week for every competition, I would have to skip school for a week, including
Did you
like
have to
travel
pick up
time.
like the grades and stuff for school and schoolwork?
My grades were like okay at the
Yeah,
time because yeah, they didn't like the teachers, they were not very good with like telling me what missed, and
right.
then the classmates were busy with their own work, so then they couldn't
Uh,
really explain everything to me. So
uh-huh.
then um since I had one of like a large competition that was the Chinese National Winter Games, so
Yes.
then my parents actually was like, okay, I think we should take time off school for this little bit because I had 5 competitions from
Oh, wow.
September to January. So then I had to skip 1 week of like every month. So then there was no way for me to um be completely on top of school while I was doing that. So then
Uh-huh.
I took that time off of school, and then um afterwards I went into online school, which allowed me a lot more flexibility. So then
Right.
that was way better for my training schedules and all of that.
That's actually really good that your parents let you get off of school. Did that like
Yeah.
affect them at all?
Uh, no, it was actually really nice that they supported me with it
Yeah,
because
I
I think
agree.
with a lot of Asian parent mindsets, they're
Right.
very education based.
No,
And
yeah.
yeah, and my parents studied in the United States, so I guess their mindsets were a bit more open with sports and all that.
Yeah,
So
that's
I,
incredible.
yeah, I'm very grateful that they
Yeah.
supported me with my journey.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that is really good. So while you're skating, did you have like anything else like you were worried about? Like according to school, since you still have to do like online school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so because I could do it on my off time,
Right.
it was way easier for me to manage all the time
Mm-hmm.
with all of the subjects and all of that. And I had time during my training day and then like in my breaks. And then when I came back from skating, I could also work on the schoolwork. But then
Right.
like at competitions, it's very hard for me to focus
Yeah.
on both. So then I would pick up whenever I was training at home, and then
Uh-huh.
I would focus on the competition when I'm there.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's cool. How old were you when you decided to switch into skating passion and your skating life?
I was 13, I believe.
Uh-huh.
It was really because of the coach from Hong Kong, where she
Right.
really led me into skating because I
Uh-huh.
had very limited knowledge on skating before I
Yeah.
met her. And after meeting her, she really helped me um, understand what the sport is. And then
Yeah.
I just the amount I improved during that time was really the reason why I fell in love with skating and how I really got into the sport.
Yeah, no, that's amazing actually. How long had do you even know your coach had been skating for?
I don't know how long, but
Uh-huh.
she's actually a coach from mainland China, and
Uh-huh.
I think she was sent to Hong Kong to help with the rinks in Hong Kong and all of
Uh-huh.
that. So she had a lot of experience teaching the Chinese skating team. And so I was very fortunate to meet her and be able to train with her.
Hmm. Yeah, that's so cool. And then now, besides the school talk, you also had to keep up skating with your like social activities, like hanging out with friends, going out, especially being like a teenager,
Yeah.
how do you keep up with that?
It's actually like a kind of funny story because when
Yeah.
I was still in school, I had trainings in the morning. So then whenever I would go back to school after my training, they would have started the school day already. And then there
Yeah.
was times where I would go back and then they're like, "Oh, I didn't even realize you were gone because I was always gone." So then
Oh,
yeah, so then they
yeah.
like sometimes forget that I'm still there. But yeah, but because like we see each other with skating all like every day.
Yeah.
So we have like a really tight and close relationship with everyone. So
Yeah.
everyone is like almost my family. And since like we
Yeah.
spend like the whole day there and then we just like train on the same ice, it's
Yeah.
just um
No,
yeah,
definitely. That creates like a strong bond.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I relate to that. I used to play soccer and like go to the same school with the people.
Mhm.
It does create a really
Yeah, and
strong.
then like you go through the same hardships together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Learn how to cope together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree. So speaking of coping, um, during your injury, I can imagine the amount of emotions you went through. How'd you learn to get back to where you are now?
It was really hard,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
while you rest, you like gain weight and then you have to like get back into shape and then
Yeah,
all of that. So it's hard to understand that you have to stop training when
yeah.
you've been training for such a long time. But
Uh-huh.
I've had to learn how to just know that if I rest right now and let it heal completely, it would
Hmm.
take way less time if I try to like work out in between or like I try jumping a little bit or like see like or
Hmm.
maybe it doesn't hurt now.
Yeah.
Like letting it actually completely rest would use the least amount of time.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that was kind of hard for me to learn going through
No,
injury.
yeah, obviously, yeah. How long was it until you started skating again from your injury?
Some of them, most of them took 6 weeks, but then when you start training again, sometimes your body's not used to it, or like my ankle or like my knee isn't used to it. It still like hurts a little bit. So then it takes time for it to be adjusted and all of that. So like it takes me like 1 to 2 months to really be back into
Mhm.
where I was before.
Yeah, no, yeah, I that's actually really impressive the way you dealt with your injuries and then came back into being in perfect shape as well. Um, plan on doing skating for like a future career? Like, do you have any other plans?
Mm, I think since like it's been COVID, a lot of
Yeah.
competitions has been canceled. So like it's kind of
Uh,
been hard throughout, I think through the whole sports community and like obviously everyone else as well.
yeah.
And I like within this time I've had more time to think about other things rather than skating or like every next competition that's coming up. So I've been thinking about school and
Yeah.
like perhaps like universities that I might want to apply to and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So it's
Yeah.
nice to be a little bit away from skating as well.
Yeah. That is true. Speaking of COVID now, did that affect like a lot of your skating time or did you still skate throughout the year of COVID?
Um there were I think a few months that there was no ice at all. It's
Oh,
like
really?
everyone, yeah,
That must have been hard on you.
yeah, it was very hard. I think I actually just came back from an injury.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, right when COVID started, when
Hmm.
the ice was cutting off, I had
Oh,
just came back from an injury. So it was
oh,
hard because I was like, I just
yeah.
got back and then it stopped completely
Yeah. Oh my
again.
God, that sucks.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
actually I was in the US and then I went back to Hong Kong during that time. So it's nice to spend some time with family during
Yeah. Yeah, that
yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And then I think we came back last
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
then I started training again since then. But then since
uh-huh.
then till I think April there weren't any competitions really. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
been training. Yeah.
Did you like skate in Hong Kong or like no, there was just like nothing?
Uh, there were some ice, but
Oh,
it was very limited. And
right.
since it's actually quite strict in Hong Kong, they
Yeah.
were starting and cleaning the ice a lot. So it was very unstable as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Competitions. I believe you went through a lot of competitions from when you first started now.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, I think one of my most memorable competitions was nationals because
Right.
that was a year where I just came back from my first injury, and that was
Uh-huh.
the first time I was able to skate a completely like a clean program.
Yeah.
So that was a very big moment for me. And
Uh-huh.
in the short program, I didn't perform my very best. So then
Oh.
my confidence wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But then because we do the short program on the first day and then the long program on
Uh-huh.
the second day. So then in the short program it was okay. It wasn't my best. And
Okay.
I really regrouped after the short program and then I was able to do a completely like clean program on
That's
uh
impressive.
yeah in the long and yeah. And then
Uh-huh.
I became the national champion of
That's
Hong Kong.
absolutely incredible. Nationals, that's a big word and that's like a lot of stress with it, a lot of like I mean any type of like physical, mental pain you could go through. How'd you learn how to cope with that during nationals?
uh I think I had a lot of support from
Yeah.
all of the people
Uh-huh.
there, like a lot of the volunteers. They always volunteer every year, so
Uh-huh.
I think they've seen me grown, and also my parents and my coach.
Yeah.
And after my short, everybody just encouraged me a lot since
Yeah.
everybody did see me train really hard for it. So
Yeah,
I think their support really helped me so much during
yeah,
that
definitely.
day, and then I was able to pull everything off the
Yeah,
next.
congratulations for the champion. That's absolutely insane.
Thank you.
I guess we're ready to wrap up our podcast for today. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing your story with us. It's absolutely incredible. Like real like I don't think you understand. This is like so insane to be talking to like a national champ.
Thank you so much. It's so fun to be here, and I love your podcast. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, have a good one.